Hi guys, welcome back to FM8tutorials.com. This is the fourth and final installment of this month's dubstep feature we've been doing on FM8, and in this tutorial I was going to show you how to make the sequence lead fill that I was playing for you there. So let's start off here by creating a new sound in FM8, program the operator section, then move to the master, do some effects, and then the sound will come together when we build our own envelope for the sound, which is given that sort of sequenced effect. So let's start off with the operators, get the general tone of the sound together. So we're going to be routing all the operators through operator Z, which is the filter. So just route F into Z at 100, route Z to the output at 100, turn Z on, and operator F, we're going to have a TX wave 2, and we're going to take the ratio right down to 0.25. Push the cutoff frequency up there so we can hear the sound nice and clear whilst we're starting off. Let's take the volume of the channel in Logic up so we can hear it a bit better. Okay, so next up, turn on operator E, and this is just going to route straight into F at 22. And I'm going to make this a 6th formant waveform. I'm going to take the ratio to 0.75. Need to key sync both of these operators as well. Next, turn on operator D. This is going to route through F at 64. And the waveform is going to be a 1+2 key sync again, and 0.25 on the ratio. And operator C, turn that on, and that is going to route into F at 27. And we're going to key sync this operator, make it a sawtooth, and take the ratio down to 0.25. So quite a nice tone to start off with there. And what we're going to do now is do some extra kind of routing in this FM matrix just to beef the sound up a little bit further. So I'm going to route C into D, 67. Route E into itself at 26, and F at 27 into itself. And we're also actually going to be using operator X, which is the noise generator for this sound. So turn that on and turn the amp of this up to around halfway, and turn the cutoff frequency of the noise up to full. Keep the resonance about halfway, and route this into F at 34. It's getting a bit of noise in the sound there, nice kind of like raspy kind of top end on the sound. Route F into X, feed it back into X at 46. And E feed into X at 88, so quite a high value on that. And actually route E straight into Z as well, into the filter at 56. Okay, so that's the general kind of tone sorted for the sound. So let's move over to the master section next. Turn the voices to 5. Gonna have to turn the volume of the channel fader down now in Logic. And let's detune some of those voices. So take the detune slider to around 50 and pan these voices out quite wide. So turn the pan up to 100. And the digital slider, take that up to around 50. and make the sound monophonic as well. It's not absolutely essential, but for this type of sound I kind of wanted it monophonic really. So next we can move over to, we can set the filter actually. So for filter 1, bring the cutoff frequency down to 11 and pull the resonance down to about 10, and the spread can stay at 10 on filter 2, and pull the resonance down to around 36 in filter 2, and push the envelope amount up to 100. Okay, so next let's move to the effects section. Let's add a peak EQ and boost some of those high mids. Something like that should be fine. Just push the volume up slightly as well. So it's introducing quite a nice amount of character into the sound there. Let's add a reverb next. Just pull the dry wet down to around 40, 42. Pull the bright down a little bit to around about 40, and pull the time down to similar value really, 40, 41. Next up, a chorus delay just to help thicken the sound, so everything can stay the same here really, other than the low cut. We don't want too much low end on this chorus, so push the low cut up to around 29. Keep everything else the same except the dry wet, just pull this to around quarter of the way up, so it's about 14 there. Next, before we get into the envelope section, I just wanted to add some vibrato on the sound. So this is kind of on the preset for FM8. On the initialized preset, you've got this modulation to the pitch on the LFO, which is going to introduce some vibrato when you pull the mod wheel up. But I want that constantly on the sound, so I'm going to uncheck that and just route the LFO straight to the pitch at around 11. So now we've got some vibrato on the sound constantly. I'm going to sync that LFO, key sync it, keep it as a triangle wave, pull the key scaling and velocity scaling down to 0. So you just got a nice kind of subtle amount of vibrato just on there, which is pretty cool. And whilst we're here as well, this pitch bend, pull this down to -12. If you can, or -11 should be fine, because on the MIDI for this sound I've actually got some pitch bend down, so it's not going to be effective unless we have that in there. Right then, so next we can move over to the envelope section, and to start off with we can tempo sync all of these envelopes and also link them together, so C through to Z. We want to link all these envelopes, so we want them all locked together, tempo sync them all. And the best way to start off to create our customized envelope for this sound is to use the 4-blip loop envelope preset that we have in FM8, which is pretty cool. To just select that in there, and now we can just check the mode to fix, so this end point, the sustain point I think, just stays the same, so we know we're going to continually be locked to the beat. So what we want to do now is customize the envelope a little bit more, shape it to what we want for the sound. So I click and drag up and zoom in, so around about this kind of zoomed in this much, so we can still see that 4/8 at the end there, and keep that as our end point, and just pull the level up a little bit. And so for this pointer here, just pull this up here, so we've got a nice kind of tail on the sound now. This second pointer here where it's 1/8, actually just pull the start of this forward, so getting a bit more of a sort of kind of attack on that second pointer there, maybe a bit further. And this very first point, we want to shape this a little bit more, make it a bit more interesting, so pull this level up here, and and then just pull this decay up, and then just sharpen that. And one final thing I want to do with these envelopes is add a couple of extra points in here to just give it a bit more of a kind of speedy sort of sound, really. So control click in here a couple of times and sort of make sure it's kind of halfway in between these 2 points here. Bring this level up, maybe control click again, just so we've got a nice sharp attack on this sound. And can bring this pointer out a little bit, so got a bit more sort of sustain on this sound. Pull the decay down a bit. And I want to do a similar thing in this space here, so control click a couple of times. One more time. And just bring this level up. Pull this forward so I've got a nice sharp attack. And actually pull the sustain right over to this point here. And then just pull this decay down. And maybe just push the levels of some of these pointers up to the full volume here. And there's our sound come together, so essentially just creating quite a nice full thick tone in FM8 and then just using these customizable envelopes, which is one of FM8's really strong features, really, to just make sounds exclusively your own using these envelopes. So I've also got this sample delay in Logic that I've not actually pointed out. It's just adding extra width on the sound, really. Just spreading the sound out even further. So there you have the sound, the kind of sequence lead fill in FM8, useful for dubstep but not completely exclusive to that genre, just quite a useful sound, really. So yeah. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you found it useful. Any questions, then please get in touch. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Cheers, bye.